So I have made it a personal mission of mine to talk about Palestine in every single room that I enter, every single meeting that I'm a part of or leading. Anytime I have access to leadership or people who are non-Muslims or non-Palestinians or non-allies. It's going pretty well, actually. Luckily, almost every space I have entered, people have received the conversation very well, and it has made me realize something. I think that they are playing this game where they are making us think that it's scarier than it is to talk about Palestine, that there is more silencing and cancelling happening than is actually happening. Okay, let me put this out another way. I think that the more we talk about it, the less taboo it becomes. The less it becomes a topic that we are not allowed to talk about. And because, especially in this particular situation, this particular genocidal mission that Israel has been on, more and more people are seeing the truth. Thanks to social media, more and more people are witnessing the suffering of Palestinians on the ground, and they're seeing through the lies. You know, where are the videos and images and the evidence on the contrary, or, you know, of crimes that Palestinians or Palestinian militant groups have committed? However, we have, like, people's feeds are full of videos and evidence that proves the crimes that are being committed by Israel. So people are seeing through this. People are realizing that the Zionist mission and the Zionist, we have a right to defend ourselves narrative is a lie. And this was never really about Israel defending itself from so-called terrorists. This was a geopolitical land grab. This was all about occupation. This was all about apartheid. But they jumped on the, terrorism bandwagon because for the last 23 years, that's been like the topic of interest. And most people understand from a social psychological perspective, most people get that. They understand ISIS, Al-Qaeda, they understand all the dialogue around that, but they don't really have their head around apartheid. Most young people were not around during South Africa's apartheid and then, how liberation was achieved. They don't really know that story. Many of them probably have to Google the word apartheid. So we've been kind of sold this lie. You have been sold this lie. And people are seeing through it now. You are seeing through it now. And that is the reason why we need to just keep talking about Palestine. Keep using these words which have been made taboo, like liberation, resistance, occupation, apartheid, Zionism, which is not anti-Semitism. All of these buzzwords, taboo words, they're okay to talk about. You can talk about them. And I will continue to contextualize and explain and, give you the decolonization perspective on Israel, and also the connection that it has to Canada and our history, and the connection that Zionism has to Hindutva ideology in India. These are all concepts and ideas that, unfortunately, most ordinary people don't understand. They don't have their head wrapped around these ideas. What they do have their head wrapped around, sadly, is the oppression of women by Muslims, how barbaric Muslims are, how, Muslim terror groups behead people. So these types of narratives have been in the mainstream media for so long that it's become part of people's vernacular. They just get it. But they don't get these other heavy concepts that we haven't spoken about because we're told we're not allowed to speak about these terms. So I have been on a personal mission to keep talking about Palestine and to keep talking about these taboo topics. And the more people who talk about it, the less it becomes something that we can't talk about. The power is in the masses. We are more powerful, united, all doing the same thing. Don't underestimate yourself.